Yuta Okkotsu is one of the most powerful and emotionally complex characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, introduced as the protagonist of Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Initially a timid and isolated teenager, Yuta is haunted by the cursed spirit of his childhood friend, Rika, whose overwhelming power makes him both feared and protected. Under the guidance of Satoru Gojo at Tokyo Jujutsu High, Yuta learns to control his immense cursed energy, revealing extraordinary talent that places him among the strongest sorcerers of his generation. Despite his strength, Yuta remains deeply compassionate, driven by a desire to protect others and give meaning to Rika's existence. Let's see how he can achieve his overwhelming strength, explosivity, power, and speed. So I'll get this out of the way right now. He isn't massive, he's at best average, muscle mass wise. We never really got a glimpse of what was happening behind his clothes, but judging from his forearms and legs, yeah, we can say that he isn't big. But strength? Now we're talking. Yuta just jumped and gave psychological trauma to Concrete, and since he's an anime character, he has to be OP in some way, other than skills of course. So, strength it is for all the body. With that being said, I'll just give a touch of hypertrophy, not a crazy amount though. When I talked about his physique, I said at best average, I didn't say skinny. Yuta is a sword master. He uses a basic katana, but when he uses it, he cuts through things with ease. We can see that he has an excellent technique with his katana. And so if we want to become like Yuta, we have to learn Kenjutsu. Kenjutsu is a one-sword style martial art that focuses on eliminating his opponent, not providing a show like other martial arts. We can also see that when he's getting rid of his katana, he goes hand to hand against powerful sorcerers. We can assume that he's using Wing Chun. First of all, because his teacher, Gojo, used it, and second of all, because it is a popular hand-to-hand martial art in the anime world. So Kenjutsu will provide weapon skills and Wing Chun will give you close, hand-to-hand skills. Yuta is fast. Not just that, but he's fast even when he uses a weapon. Since he isn't packing a ton of muscle mass, it is easier for him to move fast and be generally explosive. Many times we've seen him launching himself towards his opponent. Once more, plyometries will do the job better than anything. It's basically the art of explosiveness, upward, forward, backward, sideways and all the possible directions. With this explosiveness we can add endurance. My guy went on a 1v3 and won. Not just that, but he wasn't even fatigued at any point in the combat. So while doing a 1v3, being ridiculously fast and fighting like his life was on the line, which it was, by the way, he was smiling towards the end. Yuta is just built different, even without a heavenly restriction. With this, your muscles may tense a lot and become stiff. So what I will throw in here is some stretching. Like I said in every anime physique video, stretching will help with recovery and will give you more range of motion. It will also prevent injuries. Okay, let's go. The workout plan. You'll find here the following structure. The exercise, the number of sets times the number of reps. As I said many times in my previous videos, we will not have more than 3 sets per exercise because it will give a hard time to your nervous system. And once again, the nervous system commands the muscle. So maybe the muscle has recovered, but the nervous system is another story, because it can take up to 72 plus hours to recover after an intense workout. So maximum 2 sets it is. As for the number of reps, we will keep it at a 5 to 6, 7 to 8 and max. The 5 to 6 will be an almost all-in for strength and a touch of hypertrophy. 7 to 8 is mostly mass and only for the side delts since they are weak. Let's say they have a hard time adapting to heavy weight. Plus you'll work their endurance and strength with other exercises. And finally, max is as many reps as possible or as many seconds as possible. Generally speaking, it is reps. But some exercises, like some abs exercises, rely on seconds, not reps. Here we go, upper one. We'll start with weighted dips. Weighted dips is an excellent exercise for pushing strength. You'll work the pecs, front delts and triceps. Mainly of course, some minor muscles help with stabilization. Doing the dips on rings will strengthen the muscles even more since you need to stabilize yourself even more. Next we have weighted pull-ups, an incredibly good exercise for back, biceps and real delts. Doing them with weights will give you more strength, of course. Next, lateral raises. So as I said, this is mainly mass because the side delts are weak and don't really help with many motions, except bringing the arm up on the side, mainly of course. They will get strength with other exercises like the sword training, for example. Next we have dumbbell shoulder press. Even though we have the sword training and dips for the front delts, giving them an extra boost won't harm them. This will come in handy when using swords and for the punching strength. And finally, biceps curls for arm strengthening and thickening. Now upper 2, starting with inclined dumbbell bench press. Since we mainly worked the middle and lower portion of the pecs, we have to target the shelf part of the pecs, the upper portion. It will help with pushing strength. If you have a big rib cage, I recommend you set up the bench at an angle of 45 degrees, and if you have a normal rib cage, set it at around 30 degrees. Moving on to barbell rows. This is a good exercise for back thickening and strengthening, helping with pulling actions like using a sword. Next, lateral raises once again for the side delts. Next, reverse cable flies. It is one of the best exercises for sword fighting and it will shape your mid-back and delts. And finally, cable overhead extension. This is one of the best exercises for triceps, if not the best if done with the straight bar or V-bar. Those bar variations are perfect for strength and forget the rope. It will maybe simulate drawing a sword, but strength-wise it is not the best. Moving on to lower one, barbell squats. This will give enormous strength to your legs, primarily your quads. This will come in handy for plyometrics and vertical strength. Next, Romanian deadlifts. This will strengthen your posterior chain, mainly your glutes, hamstrings and calves, so like that, the whole legs are strengthened. And this exercise will come in handy if you need to pick something up. After this, calf raises. For explosivity and pushing leg strength, this is an excellent exercise. Next, shrugs. I know this isn't a leg exercise per se, but we did everything we needed to do for legs and upper body, so might as well put some traps in here. This will help when you carry heavy things and will give a better look to your physique. And finally, hollow body hold. Hold the position as much as possible, seconds wise. This will strengthen your core, absolutely vital for the strength exercises and katana fighting. And last but not least, lower 2, plyometrics day. Plyometrics get a dedicated day because they are ultra demanding on the nervous system. If you do them, you have to give it your all, like every exercise in here, otherwise it will be useless. So my go-to is as follows: box, broad, hurdle jumps, and lateral bounds. Every exercise here will give you explosiveness. Box jumps will give vertical explosiveness. Broad jumps will help with horizontal explosiveness, and to some degree with sprinting explosiveness. Hurdle jump are a mix between horizontal and vertical explosiveness. And finally, lateral bounds help you change direction fast without losing momentum. Do as many as you can, but if you feel slowing down or that you are using too much strength, stop there and rest. Generally speaking, the ideal explosive rep range is between 3 to 6 reps. And finally, do mountain climbers to condition your abs for sprinting and running situation. Do as many reps as possible. With this, there are some things you should know. First, keep a proper execution for every exercise. We are training mainly strength here, which can damage a lot your muscles if not done properly. Second, go to failure on every set. If you don't go harder than last time, your workout will be useless. Even if it's by half a rep, go harder than last time. This will trigger the adaptation mechanism. Also, rest for 2 to 3 minutes between every set. That is, even the warm-up sets, and give yourself 2 warm-up sets for every exercise. Thirdly, on every upper morning day, practice Kenjutsu, and on every lower morning day, practice Wing Chun. On every workout day at the end of the workout, sprint or run at a reasonable pace for 15 minutes. We don't want to annihilate the legs, so 15 minutes will do the work. Fourthly, keep the rest days rest days. This workout plan only works if you give it at least 1 day off between workouts. Like I said, muscle recover faster than nervous system, so if you do all these things and go back to the gym, you'll feel it in a bad way. So give at least 1 day off. 2 days off works too, depends on your body's recovery ability. And finally, stretch on every rest day. This will help for recovery, will prevent injuries and will give more range of motion to your movements. And if you feel safer with a lifting belt, don't hesitate, wear one. For nutrition, if you can't see your abs, be on a caloric deficit. If you see too much, or let's say you are extremely lean, be on a caloric surplus. And if you can see them just fine, be on a maintenance or a slight caloric surplus like 150 to 200 kilocalories surplus to equilibrate the effort and mass gained. Since Yuta relies on his low body fat, keep it low. For this, you'll need to know your BMR and TDEE. If you want to learn more things, go and watch my videos on nutrition I did. You'll learn the basics of nutrition, macronutrients and micronutrients. And the second one will teach you the gut-brain axis, how food affects your well-being, and how your daily thoughts affect your gastrointestinal tract. And if you want to learn more things about your muscular system, I recommend you my video about the muscular system. You'll learn everything you need to know. Ladies and gentlemen, that was everything I had to say. If you want to see another physique on here, let me know it in the comments. And we will meet next time for some other video. And like always, take care.